welcome back to my channel. Excuse me if I've got flashes in the glasses, I can't help it, there's so much light. Anyway, I've come back to today. Hope everybody's well and doing good. It's absolutely beautiful here today. It's about 23 degrees. It is the, check the calendar, it's Easter Sunday, the 21st of April. No celebrations here because it's a Muslim country and they don't celebrate Easter. Yeah, I have seen a few of the shops having Easter eggs. They do cotton on to a few things like Christmas. Valentine's Day is very big here, and we have things like Children's Day, but no Easter, not right now. Anyway, I've got a haul for you for now. It's here, down here in my trolley, so I'll be turning around, excuse me, picking things up. So first off, I bought some sliced bread. Turkey does the most gorgeous bread, but they don't often do sliced bread. I do miss English sliced bread. How daft is that? This is Nesfit. It's cornflakes, but they've got like a strawberry in and a bit of fig and flakes. These were on offer. There was about 100 lira off. That's just over £2 off the bag, so quite expensive. And usually they're really small bags as well. A bit of ruffles, little ruffles. Just for snacking, keeping in. Bottle of water, that was from the way home. I'm just going to open my trolley. Bear with me because it's a bit of a pain. I usually buy the big, the massive rolls, like those kitchen rolls. And I usually buy the one which is probably a little bit bigger than these. But again, these were on offer, everything's on offer at the moment. These were on offer and I think there was about £2 off. I can't remember the actual price of it, to be truthful. I'll move these out of the way. Put them to that side. I got 2 lots of the very dark chocolate because I've got some cornflakes and they need using, so I'm going to make some chocolate cornflakes with sultanas in, which is nice. And I got a Twix bar. I got 2 of the pasta mia. They are a bit like pistachio, but they're really nice, and you have to keep them in the fridge because they can go off. I got a bagel. It's not a bagel, but it's a kind of bagel bread. It's really soft. That's for my lunch for a sandwich. I got some cream cheese. I'm going to try and make this pasta thing with small tomatoes and some cream cheese, and then you put it in the oven, you know, with it, any sort of spices that you want, and then have pasta. So that sounds really nice. This is mashed potato, right? I tried it because I don't like mashed potato in England, but I tried this. I can't tell the difference. It just tastes like mashed potato I would do myself. You make it with milk. It takes minutes. I usually put a big blob of butter in. It's just really nice. And it's something like about, I don't know, 40p. Really nice. I keep a lot of these in because sometimes a lot of the shops, you know, they run out of something, but they run out of it for weeks, not just days. This is just to this is just to annoy my grandchildren. My granddaughter, with her birthday, I sent her some money and she wanted to go shopping in Leeds with her mum. So they got a train to Leeds and did that. So when she was telling me what she'd got, she said, oh, I got the Dubai chocolate. Oh, wow, how much? £10. Exactly the same thing, Dubai chocolate. Except it's written in Turkish, but it's the same thing. That was 159 lira, which is just over £3. So I'm just going to send them a picture of me enjoying this for a third of the price that they paid. Right, these are also you keep in the fridge. It's a brownie bar. That's so nice. I don't eat many of them because they're very chocolatey and they're very, very sweet. This is like a chocolate wafer. It's not quite as sweet as you would think, but it's nice just like after your meal. Bananas. They don't look appetising, but they never do here. Very rare you get these bright yellow bananas. You either get them green or they're going off. I'll open this because I need to let them breathe. I got a punnet of strawberries. These smell like English strawberries. Just lately we've been having strawberries, but because it's the season for strawberries here, and we only get things that are in season. It's not like England where you can go to the supermarket and buy blueberries and strawberries every day of the year. No, it's not like that here. That feels a bit wet. Anyway, these are the nicest one I could find, and they smell just like summer. Preparing for summer. Refills for the Mozzies. The Mozzie plugins. These were like £6, so like £2 each, but they're needed. Pair of pyjamas. These are not pyjamas, they're slippers. Pair of slippers. These are a couple of £1, and it's just as easy to buy these as it is to go. I used to bring a load back from England, but they get them here now, so I just get them. 2 bottles of Coca-Cola, proper Coca-Cola, and if you see on the side here it says 0 sugar. Last week I bought Diet Coke, which you don't see very often. To be truthful, it wasn't very nice. I quite often get this 0 Coke and it's perfect. It's just like drinking ordinary Coke, but there's no sugar in it at all, so I don't know why it's different to Diet Coke. Again, in season asparagus. So tonight for my tea I'm going to have lamb with asparagus, mashed potatoes, or maybe roast potatoes, and obviously mint sauce, because that's what I do. I'm trying to stock up on sweets for when my children come, because the dates are so good on them. So this is jelly teddies. These were 50p, and then these were on offer. I've had these before. They're called Mood Night Bitter. They are, if you can see on the picture, these chocolates, and they're so nice. Again, these were half price, about I think 50 or 60p. If this is different, am I doing it this way? Tell me. I'm actually on my phone rather than using my camera, simply because my camera's now out of date. How sad is that? But I ain't used it for so long. Anyway, it's out of date. I can't update it anymore. And it needs Windows 11, which I don't have. I have Windows 10, you know, for when I'm transposing stuff and uploading stuff. So I'm going to try with the camera and see what it's like. Tomatoes. These are going to go for my pasta thing. Just ordinary. Smooth peanut butter. This was about £1.20. I don't actually know how much it is in England. Not bought it for so long. Just freezer bags. I'm trying to get the Ziploc bags, but I cannot find them. I'm going to have to go. Where am I going to have to go? Probably to one of the big shopping places where they have all sorts. 2 lots of milk. Right, it's just ordinary milk. It's not free fat or anything like that. It's just ordinary milk. The date on it is September. It's UHT milk. But I've got used to it. I quite like it. I don't keep it in the fridge. I don't think you're supposed to, because it's not in the fridge in the supermarket, but I do keep it in the fridge. Big bag of potatoes. This annoys me so much after living in England, where you get washed potatoes. Half the time here, you're paying for mud. And I don't think they like the idea that I stand there scraping all the mud off. But I don't want to pay for mud. Another bag of jellies. These are just like the pastel-y ones. Big bag of red peppers. We don't get bell peppers here. We get these long things. They're just the same. They taste just the same. I can sit and eat one of these like an apple. I love them. And last but not least, today we've got horrible onions, and I don't know why. We usually get really nice ones, but these I'm going to chop up because I don't think they're going to stay without going off for a while. So I'm going to chop these up, put them in a freezer bag and have them in the freezer. So right now, this is my haul. My bag is empty, and I'm going to come back and we're going to do a bit of housework, but I'll see. Okay, bye for now. Before I do anything else, I'm just chopping up the peppers. Found the easiest way is like this, and you cut around the seeds. And I found that you don't need to blanch peppers, which is a good thing because I hate the blanching. I do a lot of it, but I hate doing it. So yeah, I cut these up and I bag them in fairly small portions, simply because I like to have them for, I like to pop them in soups, I like to pop them in wraps. So I keep some fresh, and I keep the wraps so that I could use them in the wraps. They're not very nice when they've been frozen, so they're better off for cooking. Quite often I like to have I always freeze some bread cakes, like burger buns, and I freeze them for if I have an egg sandwich or something like that. You see, you can't really buy one burger bun, so you end up buying 4. So I end up buying like 2 packets, and I'll freeze them all. So then when I want one, I get up in the morning. By the time I've showered, got ready for the day, I've got one out and it's defrosting. So that's really good. But these freeze lovely. I have no problem in freezing these. And they're always ready. I did make some soup, but actually you're better off with the bell peppers because you can take the skin off. It's a bit harder to take the skin off with these. But they're really tasty. They're just as tasty as the bell peppers that you use. So I'm going to carry on with this and then I'll come back. Right, so I've chopped up all the peppers, quite a lot there. And I've saved a couple. And I had washed them, and I didn't say that, but I had washed them. So I saved a couple so that I've got fresh ones. And all I've got is these freezer bags, which are they're not quite what I like. I like the Ziplocs because I can then store them flat with these. These don't store very flat. And I just put a good spoonful, because that's probably all I would need in any meal that I was going to make. I really don't like these bags. Yes, I just put a good spoonful. So if I was making, I don't know, a bolognese or something, I might put some in, or I can't think of what else. It's usually when I'm frying onions and peppers to go with my egg sandwich. That's when I use most of them. Sometimes in soups, but again, you get a lot of the skin and I don't like that either. But this is just handy to have, and it saves a little bit of chopping. Simply because here in Turkey, like I've said this before, but for anybody who is new, you have to use things that are in season because you don't get things that are out of season. The only thing that you get all the time is potatoes, onions and carrots. Leeks are around at the moment because they usually come out November to about January, and I love a leek and potato soup. And I used to buy loads of them while they were out, and then I'd chop them all up and ready to make soup. But to be truthful, I've been making carrot soup more than anything lately. So you have to buy when the stuff is in season here, and this is why I freeze. Not the only reason I freeze is because usually I have to buy too much to freeze. The only thing that I can find frozen is broccoli, spinach and sweet corn. Nothing else, no carrots or anything like that. It's surprising. It's a different way of living, and because you're actually having to do chopping every day, just doing little things like this makes life a lot easier. So you don't have to be chopping all the time. So I have onions chopped up, and I freeze broccoli because it's cheaper than buying the frozen one. So if I'm making a stew, it's all chopping usually. See, I've got carrots, and I've got potatoes, which is like frozen cubes in the freezer. Just to make life easier. So if I'm having a dinner I just want some, not chips, but like cubed potatoes, I'll do that. I'm going to try roasting some, I'm going to try freezing some potatoes that have been roasted. Don't know if it's going to work. I don't know if I'll like them. I don't usually like roasted potatoes on a dinner if I've frozen the dinner. So usually I don't like the potato. So I don't know if that'll work. So this is how I sort everything out. I tie the small bags up. I don't need to label them because I can see quite well that it's red pepper. And out of that lot, which cost me about 70p, I've got 6 small bags that I can use. But I am very much always freezing, and I'll make a big batch of Turkish rice, which I love. My daughter, obviously, you know, she's lived here. My daughter taught me how to make it, and I absolutely love it. So I'll make a big batch of that. So usually I have 4 portions. Sorry, I'm just getting the scissors. 4 portions at a time. And I can actually, when I've got the Ziploc bags, I can do everything flat. You can't with these bags, but better than nothing. So yeah, that's it. All these now go into my vegetable drawer in the freezer. All done and out the way. So I'm going to be back again soon. Hi, welcome back. I am just going to try this TikTok thing with tomatoes and cream cheese and a few spices, just to see whether it works or not. So I've got some small tomatoes. I haven't actually got plum tomatoes here. Sometimes we get them, sometimes we don't. So they're just small tomatoes. I'm just going to see if this works with some pasta, and I've also got some asparagus as well. So what it is I'm sure everybody's seen this. You put plum tomatoes, cream cheese, put it in the oven for about half an hour, and when all the tomatoes have popped, and I think that's why it's best to use small tomatoes or even the little cherry tomatoes. Once they've popped and the cream cheese has managed to soften, then you can mash it all together and serve it with pasta. I'm going to do, as I said, some asparagus, but I want to do these because I've got a lot of tomatoes and I don't want them to go off. And tomatoes are quite cheap at the moment. They won't stay that cheap, like, but because nothing does it? I'm afraid in Turkey stuff is going up just as quick as it is everywhere else, which is such a shame because it used to be a great place for, I won't say cheap, but the prices have gone up. For me, on a state pension, which is brilliant, I can still live quite happily, but the Turkish people are not earning enough for them to actually benefit at all, you know. They're not, the wages aren't going up with the prices that are going up. So it's quite upsetting, really. Anyway, I'm going to save these few that I've got. This is how much I've got in here. So I'm going to make a bit of a space. Right, I've got a full cream cheese and a half. And I'm not sure how much to put in, to be truthful. I'm just going to get a spoon. Oh no. I think you also need to drizzle some oil on it, from what I've seen. I don't know if this is going to be enough, or I ought to put a bit more. The cream cheese here is quite nice. I'd like to do this with boursin, which is obviously got garlic in it, but I am going to use some garlic salt and whatever. I'm going to use a little bit more. So I'm going to use about a quarter of this. I don't know if I'm going to like this, but you never know. Might be gorgeous. Might go back in the fridge. So what I'm going to do is, I've got some garlic granules. So I'm going to liberally sprinkle that on. I've also got some onion, but to be truthful, I don't know whether this has got damp at some point, because it's in a big clump. So if I can get some out, I'll... There we go. And I'm also going to put some paprika in. And I'm going to put a bit of parsley in. Just for a bit of colouring, really. And then I've got a drawer that keeps opening by itself. And then some oil, just so it doesn't burn. I don't want it to burn the cream cheese. There we go. That's it. So I'll come back. This is going to go in the oven. It's on about 180. So I'm going to come back when all these are burst and then mash them all up. So I'll see you in a bit. I just put some water on to boil. Water for the asparagus and water for the pasta. There's the pasta. The asparagus, I've just took the ends off. These have been washed. I've just, you know, as you crack them, I took the ends off. And I'm going to do them in some water with butter, and then I'll put some butter and salt on them afterwards. I also earlier made some cornflake bitter. These are bitter chocolate, dark chocolate, with cornflakes, and they've got sultanas in as well, which are really nice. So I shall have one of them a day. That's all I'm allowed. Okay. Right, I'm just going to get the tomatoes out. The pasta's on, and the asparagus is on. Right, I've got a fork. I'm just gonna, yeah, they're all nicely popped. I hope you can see. Can you? Come back a bit, one way. That's it. So I'm just gonna mash it all up. And I've actually got a cup out, because before you drain your pasta, take a cupful of the water, just in case when you put the pasta in, it's all a little bit too dry, and the pasta water will do the job. Might be that you don't need it, but if you do, at least you've got it and not thrown it down the sink, which is quite often what I do. Oh, this smells so nice. It smells of garlic, that's why. I was a bit worried about it being oily, but apparently once you start mixing like this, all the oil goes into it. And if you eat Italian food, you'll know that it's quite oily. This was a bit of olive oil, by the way, that I used. So now you've got this creamy, tomatoey, garlic, gorgeous sauce, which I'm going to add. Now, a lot of people have been saying to put some cheese on the top, put it back in the oven with the pasta. But I think the pasta's going to go like hard. So I don't really know what to do. I think I'm going to put it back in the oven to keep it warm until my pasta and asparagus is done. I'll probably eat the asparagus on the side. I don't think I'm going to cut it up and put it in. Look how creamy that is. Right, I'll come back when that's done. So my pasta is cooked. I'm just going to get the creamy stuff out of the oven. That's the oven done. Like I said before, sometimes people sprinkle it with cheese. I'm not a big cheese fan, so I'm not going to do that. Let's give this another. See how there's no oil showing now? It's amazing. And I've tasted it and it's gorgeous. It's really, really nice. It smells really of garlic, but it could have done with a little bit more garlic. This is my pasta. So I'm going to put, I don't know how much. Let's see what that's like. Pull it back so you can see it. I think I'll put all of that. Oh, I don't know. A little bit more, maybe. Get a spoon, Wendy. I don't want to put that much pasta in that you don't taste the sauce, because it is really nice. Got a little bit more. Oh my God, I'm going to enjoy this, I think. Yeah, that's enough. I'll get that out of the way. I'm just going to drain off my asparagus. I did save some water, but I don't think I need it. Maybe if I'd put more pasta in, I might have needed it, but I don't. I'm just going to put the asparagus on the plate. So I'll move these up so you can see what I'm doing. Got salt. I didn't do too much asparagus because these are really big ones. it's true, but I've been told that if you eat a lot of asparagus, if you eat a lot, you pee green. Don't know if that's absolutely true. So I'm just putting some butter on. I put salt on. So I'm just going to put some butter on. And I'm going to enjoy my tea. So thank you for watching. If you're not subscribed, then please do. There's not many of us, but we have a nice little community. We all comment and we share, so it'd be nice to have you along. Thank you again for watching. See you soon.